Hello everybody, Cool Cucumber here with another vlog for Let's Abridge Pokemon Fire Red. In the last episode, episode 5, we went to see Bill on the Cerulean Cape and had a really easy time getting there. And that's kind of what I want to talk about as the first talking point of this episode, is difficulty in Pokemon. I know my co-vlogger, Callista Plays, mentioned it some in the last vlog, but Pokemon games are notoriously easy. I would say that JRPGs in general are fairly easy games, and that all it really takes is a base understanding of the gameplay, and you can beat pretty much any one of them fairly easily, or they're not very fun because it's really RNG dependent. But I'm actually going to defend Pokemon here for a little bit. Not because I think that it's a great series. I think it's a good series. But I think that the difficulty works for what it is, because the difficulty is enough and the games are easy enough that it gives you choices as to how you can play. It would be extremely hard to do a Nuzlocke in, say, a Final Fantasy game. Or in most other games. I think that the difficulty in Pokemon games is actually okay. I think a lot of what we call bad difficulty is really amounting to the last couple of games in the franchise. Sword and Shield was alright. Sun and Moon was long-winded, but its difficulty was okay. I still lost at least one battle. X and Y with the experience share on is a joke. I could beat that with my toes. But that's not what I think the real fun for playing Pokemon is. I think, like my co-commentator said, it's the stories we come up with along the way. It's the, forgive me for sounding cheesy, friends we make on our journey. It's how we perceive them, how we have the bloodlust party Pokemon in almost every single case who just keeps on knocking out Pokemon we want to catch. How we have the sympathetic or kind sweet one, or see if they go against the roles that you would imagine them having. You could have a Grimer that's incredibly affectionate, or you could have a Jigglypuff that's an absolute butthole. And it's entirely up to you. And because Pokemon is so easy, and it is easy, you basically have free liberty to use whatever Pokemon you want, and if you decide to grind up their levels, you'll be able to still meet almost any challenge. That's something that I know right now I'm extremely overleveled. In fact, both of my Pokemon at the end of the next episode are at the cap for battling Surge, because I don't battle gym leaders with Pokemon that are higher level than the gym leader's star. I just don't. If I can help it at all. But that's getting a little bit into the next episode, so I don't want to talk about that too much. Instead, I want to talk about Bill. Why I love his portrayal in the games and don't care for his portrayal in the anime. Bill is the anti-Oak. Oak, he has this reputation. He calls himself the Pokemon Professor, even though there are so many other Pokemon Professors out there, that if he was humble, he'd call himself a Pokemon Professor, or the Pokemon Professor of Palette, or whatever. I think Oak is very arrogant. I don't think he pays attention to Blue, not because he doesn't care, but because, well, he can't care. Because he's not Oak. Oak has this reputation, this clout, and yet, we see time and time again in the games, everybody but him putting in the work. And he's not that old. He's not exactly a spring chicken, but he's not old enough that he can't be doing the work himself. But he basically doesn't. It is very rare to see Oak doing any work other than looking at a flock of Pidgey in any of the Pokemon games. And honestly, I think that's a big reason why he only had 3 Pokemon left. Meanwhile, Bill is an avid collector. Bill is a hard worker, but he's an introvert. Professor Oak is lazy, but he's an extrovert with a lot of reputation, a lot of clout. So Bill is the anti-Oak, and he gets caught with his pants down on the Cerulean Cape, metaphorically, because he's spliced himself with a Clefairy, trying to teleport himself using the Pokemon storage system. Yes, that is a plot from The Fly. The plot from The Fly. And if you have never seen The Fly like me, but you are familiar with it, you might have seen it in the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode, where it happens to Bart. I'm pretty sure it's Bart. Anywho, I love that Bill is an introvert who works hard by himself. Because his contributions, at least as far as your playthrough goes, are more significant than Oak's. Oak gives you the Pokédex and your first Pokemon. Bill gives you the PC system. If it wasn't for Bill's PC, completing the Pokédex would be impossible. Or it would take so long that it wouldn't be worth it. But Bill still lives in a humble little house on the Cape, not in the anime. First off, in the anime, and I don't want to talk about the anime too much, because I honestly don't think that the Pokemon anime is very good. I know, kill me for it, but I rewatched it recently, and I got as far as the Kangaskhan kid before I had to rage quit. In the anime, Bill is just a collector and a scientist who lives in an old lighthouse manor. So he clearly has tons of cash, and he doesn't seem very introverted at all. Instead of experimenting on himself, he's just stuck in a Kabuto costume and needs someone to push a button that he put on the outside of the costume far away from any of his extremities, because apparently he's an idiot. And I just don't like that. Bill is smart, but he isn't sociable. That's what led to his downfall in the games. And I do love that Bill comes up in Gold and Silver and is explored again more thoroughly. Because he's one of my favorite scientists, in all honesty. Just based on what he did. He doesn't take full credit for what he's done. I don't believe. If he did, he'd be living in a mansion like he does in the anime, instead of a small cottage on the Cerulean Cape. But, oh man, I'm afraid this vlog might end up being short if I don't think of something else to talk about. I guess I can go back to the difficulty conversation. The absolute worst offender for difficulty in Pokemon is X and Y. X and Y is so easy. And really, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl were probably the best in terms of being challenging. Except for what my actual favorite Pokemon games are. Pokemon Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness. Which both have moments where the game is effectively cheating to make itself more challenging. And if anybody from Game Freak or the Pokemon Company now was watching this, which I highly doubt, then I would just say, please make a new entry in the Colosseum franchise. Give us a new game in Ore. Especially considering the next game was basically setting itself up to be a globe-trotting mega-adventure. Give us a game where we battle Cypher again across all regions. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. But we're not going to get it, because Let's Go and because Pokemon Go was too successful, and Let's Go is even more successful than Sword and Shield. I feel like the Pokemon Company misses the point a lot of the times when it comes to what we say. It's not that we want a challenging game, it's that we want a game that takes us seriously. Or at least, and this is something I will never understand why it hasn't been implemented long ago, give us difficulty settings. Normal, easy, and hard. Easy, give us an experience share like the one in X and Y. Make it so that your team you never have to grind, and you can have the most casual experience. Some people would like that. Normal, make it closer to the original games. Some grinding recommended, but not needed. Hard, you're either going to have to grind a lot, or you're going to have an intimate working of the game's knowledge of how the game works. Wow, that was a sentence. An intimate understanding of the game's... God, I can't get this out. An intimate understanding of the way the game is played and how it functions in order just to beat anybody. There won't be the trainers that are like, here's my level 35 Weedle. What, you're getting ready to go battle the Elite Four? Beat my Caterpie! I'm just like, no. No, I don't want that. Why would anybody want that? And I know Pokemon is a game that is for a younger audience. At least it used to be. But that younger audience has grown up, and we haven't abandoned Pokemon yet, because this franchise has really good legs. Every first-party Nintendo franchise has grown up with us. The Legend of Zelda has its more dire, more dark entries. Mario Galaxy 2 has the perfect run. Mario 3D World has nightmare boiled on the backs of 75 naked men. I'll put the name of the level at the bottom of the screen. I hated it. But some people loved that kind of challenge. But it was all optional. Pokemon doesn't give us a choice. Except for to do weird things like Nuzlocke in order to challenge ourselves at all. And that's not fair. That is not fair. But I have one more thing to talk about before I close out this vlog. It's still probably going to end up being really short, but I mean, it is what it is. And that's that next Saturday, I'm debuting a new Let's Play series that is not Pokemon Fire Red. Don't worry, I'm still going to keep doing Pokemon Fire Red in addition to this new game. And I feel like I should give a hint about that. Well, it's a Super Nintendo platformer. And it has creatures in it that you can ride. That should narrow it down to a couple of options. Anyway, I've been Cool Cucumber. Until next time, stay cool.